Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here. I have the pleasure of talking to you all about GE Capital. And GE Capital is a very special customer to Salesforce. And not only are they a special customer, they are amazing to their customers. They are one of the most customer-centric companies I've ever seen. They make it a focus across their entire organization to have a wing-to-wing view of all of their customers and all of their customers' operations. And as a financial services company, they do this in a globally compliant way, and they do it with an eye on growth. Many people would think GE Capital are bankers, but they're not. They're builders. They're builders of new business. They just don't focus on banking. They're builders of new business. And I have the pleasure of telling you their story. Today, I'm going to be Jackie. And Jackie is a global relationship manager at GE Capital. So as Jackie, I will tell you it's quarter end. It's super stressful. I think a few of you out here in the audience have been through quarter end. So much fun, so intense. And I have a couple really big deals that I need to close in the next couple days. And I have a secret weapon for doing that, the Salesforce Analytics Cloud. So let me show you. So right here, I go into the Salesforce Analytics Cloud, and I do that right off of the app picker, right off of Salesforce. It's right there for me. And I go in, and right there, I have all of my accounts, and I go right into my Brunswick account, because I have a meeting with a company called Brunswick Corporation. This is my big deal I've got to close. And Brunswick, if you don't know them, is a leading manufacturer of luxury yachts and boats. Some of you might have seen one of their beautiful yachts yesterday, and maybe myself on it. But they're an amazing company, and they see me as a strategic partner to them in helping them uncover new business opportunity. So I go right in here into Brunswick, and what I've got here is my data sets. I have all the information I need to run my business with Brunswick. Remember the days of just having your account information? Remember ACT and Vantiv and like the days where you just had your account information, like the telephone number? I've got all the information I need here. And when I say all the information, I don't just mean Salesforce data. I have third-party inventory data coming out of ERP. I have unstructured data. I have social data. I have product sensor data. I have all of it at my fingertips. It's not with my analyst or IT, it's with me to work with. I have my lenses, which are my views, my ability to explore the business. So I can just explore all the data on my own, and there's no risk there in doing that. And I have my dashboards. My dashboards are really what I use to run my business, really drive my performance as well as my customers. So let's get into that Brunswick dashboard and see what's going on. Aha! I told you I have all the information, and right here I have a single customer-facing view of Brunswick. I always ground myself in what are my total sales. Where am I at today on my revenue number, on my credits, and on my debits? I can see all that, and I can go over and I can hover over on the sales. I can see by every product line exactly. And this isn't a static chart. It's moving as I'm looking at those sales. And I'm able to also see the third-party consumer spending data. This is my chance to go into Brunswick and tell them where the market is headed. Where is the propensity to buy? I have that information right there. And I have my inventory data coming from SAP. Aha, I see something quite interesting here. The C-Ray inventory is strikingly low for Brunswick. I don't know why. I work with them on financing boats. And I've never seen it this low, and I certainly don't want it to be that low because I want them to do financing with me on all their inventory. I wonder what that is. I look at the sales on C-Ray, and I see that they're trending up. There's a good story to tell here. I know it, but I need to get more data. I'm able to go right in and explore on that social data. Take a look at that. I have 100 million rows of data right at my fingertips. Again, nobody's doing this for me. I'm the relationship manager. I own the relationship and the information. I'm able to go right into this and explore this data. I want to go and look by industry. I want to get right into luxury boats. I want to look at it by accounts. And then I want to look at it by product line and see what's going on. Aha, here is a key insight. I see that Sea Ray Boats has a ton of conversation going on out in the social stratosphere. I love social media. Remember years ago we had something called word of mouth marketing? But we couldn't track it. With social media, we can track it down to the very minute. It's fantastic. So I see that there's 2 million social media mentions on Sea Ray above all their other lines. It gets me thinking, I bet you Jay-Z and Beyonce just got that boat. Or could it be a part defect? I need to know this before I go into that meeting and tell them they need to finance more Sea Ray inventory. So I'm going to go ahead and look at that information. I'm going to add the sentiment so I can really understand. Voila. Sea Ray is white hot in the market. The sentiment is fantastic on them. This is great. And I can look at this on however I want to look at this information. So I can look at it in a stack chart. I can look at it whatever way that I want, and a pie chart. The wonderful thing here with the Salesforce Analytics Cloud is it lets the data tell a story, and you can pick the view that speaks to you and your customer. So I'm going to use this pie chart, but I'm just going to take the summary view of it. And what I can do is I can now clip that information right there, and I can drag it right back into my dashboard. Again, I'm not dragging a static chart. I'm bringing all that data over with me. I now have a single view to go sit with Brunswick and talk to them and have a meaningful discussion. I'm late for my meeting. Shall we all go together? Let's head to Brunswick. I arrive at Brunswick, and I bring my iPad. I have all my presentations from my iPad, and I show them from my iPad their dashboard. I bring up the dashboard right through the Salesforce Analytics Cloud. And the beauty of it is that everything that I had on my desktop is not just limited to my desktop. I have it right here on my iPad. I can look at all of the information with them. What's amazing is they love it. We hand it around the room. We look at different angles of the business. We have a really great data-driven discussion. I'm not a vendor to them. I'm not a salesperson to them. I'm a strategic partner to them. And at the end of it, they say, we need to finance a lot more Sea Ray boats to the tune of $100 million. Yes! I'm going to close that quarter. Mark my words. So we have a fantastic conversation, and before I'm trying to leave there, they tell me not so fast. We need that dashboard. We have to show everyone in our organization that dashboard. I don't run down the street or have the admin make copies or paste it into a PowerPoint. I give it to them right there. I'm able to easily take a snapshot of it, and I'm able to send it to them right there, and I can annotate. I can easily just circle for them, where are the places, where did we get those key insights around the inventory and the sentiment? And because it's such great news, I want them to know it's SASE approved. I send this off to them. Their CEO and the team gets it. They see the power of the Salesforce Analytics Cloud. So my work is not done. Remember, I said it was quarter end. And I've sent this off, but I now have another meeting to go to. So I switch from my iPad because I jump into my taxi and I get on my phone. And because I do all of my business in Salesforce, right there from my phone, I can go into my chatter feed. I go right into my chatter feed, and I want to see what's going on. I update my Brunswick account, too. I go into Brunswick. I want to notify my boss right away that it's done. 1 and done. I have closed the deal. So the account record's updated right there with Brunswick. And I'm looking back in that chatter feed, and I see a congratulatory note. Congratulations, Jackie. You are 100% a quota, but ooh, they've sweetened the deal. They have sweetened the deal in a big way. If I can get another 10 million in before quarter end, I get to go to Hawaii. And I was married in Hawaii, and I have an 8-year-old who loves Hawaii, and God darn it, I'm going to Hawaii. So I got one more deal to close. You know how I'm going to do that? I'm going to leverage those same customer-facing dashboards and take that to Tesla. So I quickly let my Salesforce admin know, can you update all my luxury account records and put those same customer-facing dashboards there? And because it's so easy to do in Salesforce, and because she's a rock star, she says, super easy, Jackie, I did it in seconds. So right from my phone, not back at my desk, not waiting for a Wi-Fi in a Starbucks, I go right into my Tesla account record. And everything I've always had in that account record is there, my information, but this time I have that customer-facing dashboard right there. And I'm able to see all the information that I had for Brunswick, but relevant for Tesla. So before we were talking about Sea Rays, beautiful luxury yachts and boats. Now we're talking about the Model D. Has anyone seen the Model D? It's absolutely insanely beautiful. But they don't have enough Model D in inventory right now. So I'm able to have that same conversation with them and show them that they need the Model D to finance more. Let's just say they close a huge deal financing on the Model D, and I crush the quarter. Hey, Keith, I'm off to Hawaii. Okay. So you might have last known me as Jackie, but now I'm here to talk to you all about Blue Cross Blue Shield, a fantastic customer as well. And I'm going to play the role here today, and I'm going to play a special role here, so I'm going to be leading as Sandra acquisition integration at Blue Cross Blue Shield. And I just want you to know, I've been doing this job for a decade at Blue Cross Blue Shield. I'm privileged to do this job because I get to work with everyone across the company and everyone in the newly acquired companies. And so today is no different. We recently acquired a company called NextCare. They are a regional healthcare provider, and I'm actually en route to meet with them in one of the call centers. So I start my day with my phone. I'm in transit. I've just left the airport. And I start right in my chatter feed. And right here, I have a note from Tim Fairchild. Tim runs all of our call center operations across North America. And he knows I'm en route to his Joliet call center. And he wants me to check out his call center performance metrics. He's trying to let me know, as one of the bosses, that it's looking pretty good. So I'm thankful that he sent that as I prepare for my meeting. I'm in my cab, and I can go right into that call center dashboard. Right there, I have at my fingertips all of the data related to the call center performance metrics. This is a huge thing at Blue Cross Blue Shield, the productivity on the phones. Standing right out at me from my phone, I can see the average call duration, and I can see that it's declining. That intrigues me because I know, doing this role, that Blue Cross Blue Shield has had an average 10-minute call duration for years. We sell the entire portfolio. We sell the medical, the dental, and the vision. So this is a little suspect to me, but I'm going to come back to it because I've got lots of data at my fingertips. I have all of the operational costs. I know all of the costs, so I can measure not only effectiveness, but the efficiency of our acquisition integration. And with a simple swipe on my phone, I'm able to look at all the agents trained. I have all the agents trained. I have all of the number of calls made. This is really important because I know with such a massive call center that the number of reps trained is a really big indicator of call performance and revenue outcomes. But I want to get back to the other screen, and I want to look in on those operational costs a bit. What's nice is here I can look at it across all the regions. I can see their California, I can see Georgia, I can see Illinois, whatever I want. But I'm actually going to drill in to the call centers because I'm heading to Joliet, and I want to know exactly what's going on in that Joliet call center. So right here, I have all the call centers at my fingertips, but again, maybe this view isn't the view for me. Maybe I want to look at it in a different way. I'm able to put that into a stack bar, and I can see it just how I want. And I can go through and quickly, right from my cab, I want to go into Joliet. What is going on in Joliet, the reps that I'm going to be with today? I can see what the total cost is of that cost center. And not only that, I can go by agent. I now have all the agents right there at my fingertips. How crazy is that? Thousands of people in the call center, and I can get from all the North American data down to the individuals that will be standing in front of my face in just a matter of minutes. But what I really want to know is their call duration, because we saw that big tank down. What's that all about? So I take a look, and I can easily group it and look at what they're doing on their average call duration. Some interesting numbers here. I know how I'm going to have my conversations. Some of them who are doing short call volumes I'll talk to and understand their strategies, how they're performing. And some of them who are on the long, I'll figure out what they're doing. But I've now arrived. I'm at the call center in Joliet, and I must get out of my cab and head into the office. We go into the office, and when I arrive there, that average call duration is still niggling at me and bothering me really bad. And so from my desktop, I bring up that dashboard. That very same dashboard I had on my phone is right here on my desktop. And I realized, thinking about it, that call duration decline started right about the time of the NextCare acquisition. I want to look at these by the two companies side by side. So I easily look at Blue Cross Blue Shield to try to understand the call volumes. Remember I said they spend 10 minutes on average on the phone? They do. They do portfolio selling. They sell the whole portfolio on the phone. Nothing has changed with Blue Cross Blue Shield. Tim is sending me this metric that they're being more efficient on the phone, but nothing's changed at Blue Cross. He needs to know that. But what's happening at NextCare? What's happening with our newly acquired folks? They're spending only 4 minutes on average on the phone. Why is this? Are these superstars? Are these superstar salespeople? Or did the acquisition integration go really bad and the morale is really down? I need to know. And the only way I'm going to know that is if I add the revenue and product data. And I can do that right on my own. We talked about the Salesforce Analytics Cloud and bringing in different data sets. But I'm going to do that right here with you. With a simple click of the button, I'm able to enrich that data set. And what I do here is I have telephony data here, but this could be any kind of data. So this could be product sensor data. This could be ERP data coming from SAP or anywhere. It could be social data. So right now I'm going to take those traditional telephony, CTI data, and I'm going to augment that with my Salesforce. So coming right in from Salesforce, I'm going to pick my opportunities. I want to look at my accounts. I want to look at each of my reps, my agents, and be able to look at that. And group them by opportunity. So right here, what you're seeing is that data set in a matter of seconds being enriched. This may seem trivial, but for those of us who have actually gone through this, how many emails would you have had to send for that data? How many weeks, days, months would you wait to bring all those data sets together? I now have the combined data set here right at my fingertips. So let's go look at that joint data set and see what we find out about that average call duration. I go back into my data sets, and I select on my combined. There we have it. I pick up my data set. I've got the combined information. I've got 17 million rows of data at my fingertips. And I want to ground myself back in what I already knew first. I want to put those two companies side by side. And I want to be able to look at those average call durations. And we have what we already knew here, which is NextCare's on the phone half the time. But this time, I want to overlay that revenue data. I want to see what's happening there with the revenue. I'm able to easily add the average sum there. Voila. There's an insight uncovered there. We see that they're selling half the amount. Their average per call is half the revenue. So here we are thinking making less calls is all better in these traditional call center metrics, but not what we're seeing here. It makes me wonder what they are selling. So now I'm able to easily measure, and I'm able to add the number of products sold. Aha! NextCare sells 1 product on average. They don't sell 3 products like the Blue Cross Blue Shield. Can you imagine the domino effect of that as we think about meeting our revenue targets with this acquisition? Can you think about the training implications? All of you do roles like that around your organization. This is a massive insight here. I want to take this and look at it by the regions, see if there's anything that comes out. And more than anything, I want to get this to Tim. Tim needs to be looking at the bigger picture. He needs to understand, he needs to change his training program. He needs to think about how he's going to shift those NextCare folks to be able to do portfolio selling. So I easily send it back to him in a post. I tell Tim, as politely as I'm able to, that he needs to get with the program, and he needs to look at the bigger picture, and I send it off to him. What's great here, though, is as I prepare, I'm in that office with the Joliet folks, as I look at this and I prepare, I can look at it, I can go by region, I can move it over, I can look at charts by any different view that I want. The data tells a story. It's your story to tell. Make it work for you. Oh, I love the fluid movement. I think that's why we called it the wave. And it's fantastic. And guess what? There's no downside. There's no downside to this because all of my history is right there. Every single move, every single step I took for those who are sort of frightened by the data, it's right there. I have it. That is the power of the Salesforce Analytics Cloud. We saw how a company such as Blue Cross Blue Shield is going to a data-driven culture. And we saw how they're using data to uncover new performance metrics to run their business. This is what's making it possible for them to do that. Back to you, Keith.
Awesome.